Hello. We're at the social media, what are we doing? The social media debate. We're going to be talking about LinkedIn, social. Oh, he's talking.
Power switch for it. Just leave it on. If for some reason no one's talking, you can just switch it off at the most. So that's going to be cool as well. Yeah, I'll leave it in hands. Yeah, someone. Take it. Take it.
Are you periscoping?
I am, yeah.
Hi!
What if he actually put you right in the middle?
This is an exclusive interview. And I've just realised that everyone can see right up my skirt.
What skirt?
So, Steve, if I could just swap round.
Where do you want me to go?
Just there, and Sarah comes here.
Okay.
So we just break up.
Oh, somebody says hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Cali movement.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
Just want all the people with the good shirts on this side.
Yeah, really. Here's a nice pink shirt. And here's another.
Putting all the colours together.
It's the pink shirt troop.
Let's do with the light here. Yeah.
There we go. Matching shirts. Matching shoes. Actually, take a look at this. Look at those shoes. Those are fancy shoes. Where do you shop?
This one from New York. Oh, New York.
The all, yeah. Ah, okay. Well, I thought we got to pick and choose which one we could wear tonight. Is that what it was? Yeah.
And you can actually make your own undies.
Oh, really?
To raise awareness for women's gynecological awareness.
So much trouble on social media.
Yeah, I'm worried about that one.
Some stranglers left.
You're periscoping.
Periscoping.
Oh. Yeah, this is the Twitter guy.
He's the Twitter guy. for tonight only. Does anybody actually use LinkedIn?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
I'm
just kidding.
Twitter and LinkedIn as well.
No, I got my first ever bank contract.
Really?
Using LinkedIn.
Kate?
I scored a national rank in water.
Oh, excellent. Wow.
LinkedIn
Case study.
That's a good one.
Case study, yeah.
Yep. Yep. Challenge accepted.
You've got a film company in Amsterdam.
No way. What kind of film company?
They make normal film, not dirty.
I was going to say,
Normal films for the London
as soon as you
film.
add Amsterdam.
No, not them.
Not those kinds of films. So tonight we're going to be learning about LinkedIn and social media. We've got this wonderful panel coming up. And our magical hostess, Sarah.
Looking like I've had too much cake.
We're
It is a person. Actually, it's not cake.
It's a mini person.
Oh well, James in trouble.
Another one.
The little camera underneath's not recording or something.
That one's mine, and the rest, because we're just two awesome, it takes that much. Well, good. Oh, hello. Ooh. There you go. Good evening, NIFNEX. Good evening. Thank you. I've got one person who arrived tonight. Good evening, NIFNEX. Good evening. Yay, that's better. You've all had a few wines by the sound there's plenty more. So I'd like to say, first of all, a very big thank you to Steve from Clayton Sellers. Hey. I know you all have one for me. Unfortunately, I can't drink because I'm expecting my first baby. Yay! Boo! So tonight is the 8th NIFNEX Success Academy evening. So I see some new faces. Put your hands up if this is your first one. Yeah, hello. Sam, you're lying. Welcome to all of the new guys. And veterans, raise your hands. Yeah, all the people with the wine in their hands. Right, guys, so also I'd like to say thank you to Kyle. You can see our film guys have been here for quite some time and definitely using up the electricity allowance this evening, the cameras we have going on. Of course, we have another venue change. Now, I think what Zishan is trying to do with our venues is represent the significantly different types of businesses that we actually have within this academy. We have graduates, we have small businesses, large businesses, solopreneurs, we have professionals who are thinking about going into the world of entrepreneurship, and everything in between, which is what makes this such a unique and special community. One of the most important things that we can do as entrepreneurs and business owners and professionals is to connect with others that are like-minded. When you're out in ventures of entrepreneurship on your own, you can find yourself very isolated, sometimes feeling a little alone. For we are quite unique creatures. We are 1% of the population. So when you're surrounded by 99% of people who are not like you, you need to be spending 99% of your time creating a community around you that either loves what you do and wants to pay you for it, or is a massive supporter and helper and guider of what you do. And that's precisely what social media can help us do. So we've got some fantastic experts here for you this evening. My name is Sarah Cordiner, and I'm mainly going to be acting as the facilitator this evening, but also representing you guys as business owners who are using all of the platforms of social media to try and get seen, heard, noticed, and importantly, make lots of sales. Now, 3 years ago, I rocked up in Australia. You may be able to tell there's a POM accent there. And I had absolutely nothing other than a 25-kilo suitcase and a whole load of hope. In fact, my first 3 months in this country, I had not even anywhere to sleep. I had a towel that was stolen, borrowed, I mean, rolled up as a pillow, one as my mattress and one as my doona, yet made a 7-figure business over the last 3 years, and now have a significant following of community members. And I did that entirely using the platform of social media. So I personally am a very, very big fan, a very big advocate of it, but also, like many people out there and in this room, have also been bombarded with conflicting advice, conflicting information. Don't ever post this on this platform, always post that on that platform. What? Times, locations, what we should use it for, what we should share, what we shouldn't share. Oh my God, it's overwhelming. So hopefully tonight we can question these experts here this evening and start to try and fumble our way through perhaps what we should be doing and what we can do, whether it's to fill events, whether it's to sell products, whether it's to sell services, whether it's to build a community, whether it's to simply become known in our marketplace for what it is that we do. So this evening we have Doyle Bueller, who is going to be our LinkedIn specialist. Wade Doyle.
Hello.
Doyle is actually periscoping right now.
It's not LinkedIn, but it's good enough.
Yeah, so who has heard of Periscope? Yes, some. So Periscope, guys, is a live video streaming service. It's owned by Twitter. Am I correct, Twitter man? Okay. So you have to have a Twitter account to use it, and it connects to your Twitter account, and you simply, as if you would normally record a video on your phone, this just pumps it straight out to the internet. Now, Doyle actually helped me run a Periscope and a Twitter wall on the Edupreneur Awards, which is an awards evening for entrepreneurs that I run, and we had 2 million people follow the event live on the evening. How cool is that? Yeah, so this is the power of social media, and I'm sure by the end of the evening, Doral can actually tell us how many other people from across the world joined us here this evening. It's pretty cool. We also have Mr. James Lush. He is going to be talking to you guys tonight about content. So what we mean by that is actually what you post out there, what information, what words, what language you actually post to your audience to either get them to connect with you or preferably to buy from you. We have Mr. Kim Barrett. Woo! Kim is our Facebook expert this evening, so those of you using Facebook, or more importantly, not using Facebook, Kim is the person to be talking to you tonight about what you should be doing with that. And we have Steve Cartwright.
Shoes.
He's annoyingly got better shoes on than I have. Awkward.
He's got the nicest shoes.
So Steve will be talking to us tonight about all the various ways that you can use Twitter to get more exposure, more leads, more sales, and more followers. So the way this evening is going to run is we are actually going to do a bit of a live brainstorming on 3 real-life, very present businesses. And we've selected these in the hope that it will give you all some very real advice. Our first business this evening is in honour of tonight's sponsor. So we will be talking to Steve from Clean Skin Sellers. Who in here has a product to sell? A physical product, or maybe you turn your IP into products? So yeah, we've got about a third of the room, yeah. So there'll be some ways that we can use social media to sell stuff. Now, if you are a service provider, do you have a service to sell, anybody? Yes, quite a lot of people in the room. Now, there are lots of ways that you can turn services into IP, intellectual property, which essentially becomes a product. So that would be a really useful case study for you guys who are selling stuff to learn how to use social media to do that. Our second business, we'll be talking to a non-profit organisation who is, where's Kath gone? I can't see the Kath. Who is actually promoting something that people are often a bit afraid to talk about. And she'll be talking about the fact that she really needs to raise awareness to fill an event for Gynecological Awareness Day. Now, how many of you think that at some point in the future you may like to run some kind of event? Yeah, quite a lot of us. Okay, so that's going to be really, really poignant for a lot of people in the room. How can we use social media to bring a group of people together in one place for an event? And our third business, we don't know who it is yet. We would like some people to put their hands up, not yet, if you would like your business to be live brainstormed by our experts here this evening after we've had our 2 first case studies. So without further ado, I would like to welcome up here to tell us more about their business, Steve from Clean Skin. Woo! So Steve, you are going to be live, given some tutoring by our fantastic experts here. Good. So would you please like to just tell everyone in a couple of minutes maximum what your business does, who your customers are, what you're currently doing, and where you're struggling, what your challenges might be in terms of social media.
Okay. Beautiful. So we have a number of arms of our business. We have our retail stores, which we have 4 of them, located throughout Perth. We also have our online presence, which we've spent a lot of money on recently because a lot of people are buying wine online now. The bricks and mortar retail model is struggling a lot at the moment. And we also have our wholesale division. So in this warehouse you are today, we actually supply wine bars, restaurants, licensed venues with their own brands of wine, which we create, we design. We have a graphic designer, and he designs their label, and their house red and house white and sparkling becomes their own brand in their venue.
And it's fabulous too.
Thank you, Claire, thank you. And we do that for corporates as well. So business owners here can have their own brand of wine that they can give to customers at product launches, for example, Claire, and for Christmas gifts. So we've been struggling over the years, because I'm 44 years of age. So
really?
Facebook, Twitter, it's hard for me to even contemplate it. We have 3,200 fans on our Facebook page. We have LinkedIn company page. We have a website that we've spent $50,000 on. So for us, we want to we've got to compete against Coles and Woolworths, number one. So they have BWS, First Choice, Dan Murphy's, Liquorland, Vintage Sellers. So for us to exist and continue to exist, we have to get our name out there amongst the public and tell them how good our wine is and how much value for money it is. Because we sell wine that's 70% off the value that the winery sells it for. We don't want to damage their brand by telling, and when you come to a private tasting, you'll get me behind the bar and I'll tell you where it's from. But in our stores, we don't tell the public where it's from. We give them as much information as we can without damaging the brand of the winery, because we don't want to devalue their brand because they'll never supply us again. So we've got all this juggling act. We've got all these balls in the air where we're selling great quality wine, but the word clean skin is our enemy. You know, everybody says clean skin wine, that's got to be shit. It's got to be bottom of the barrel. It's the faulty wine that they don't want to sell at the winery. I can tell you 100% here today, it's not. It's the same wine that they sell. The problem they've got is their sales team might be able to sell 30,000 cases per annum, but their grapes on the vines produce 50,000, so they're left with 20,000 residual. They're not going to pour that wine down a drain. They're going to bottle it, or they're going to sell it to me as a bulk product and I bottle it myself. It's exactly the same wine that they put in the bottle. We sell that wine for up to 70% less because they need to clear it. We're not relying on their brand name to promote that wine. We're relying on our own abilities to promote it, either by Facebook, in our retail stores, LinkedIn. And at the moment, the online community of purchasing wine is growing. There's so many people out there promoting wine to you. You've got Qantas, Virgin, if you're a frequent flyer, you're getting all these case deals. So we've got to try and expand our online presence and promote ourselves through the various social media that we've got. So I'd love to hear from these panel experts tonight and see how we can do it better. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Just to get an idea of who we have in the room, could we first of all just get a raise of hands as to how many people are using Facebook for business? Oh, loads of them. Cool. Okay. LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. I could go on all night. They're the main ones. Okay, fantastic. Who would like to go first?
YouTube. Can you turn this on?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you turn it on. Should be on. Okay. Have you took the bottom? Yeah. Did you turn it on? No. Yeah, that's on. Okay, good. Really interesting what you said. So the first thing, we have a content marketing agency, Lush Digital Media, and we look at all of this in a very strategic way. So we wouldn't just go say, well, you've got to create this content and this content until you worked out exactly why you're doing it. So we see, generally, the biggest mistake is that people just go in and just make stuff. We need this video, or we need these blogs, or we need to write these articles, or we need this photography, and there is no measurement set aside. We have no idea why we're doing it. Our competitors are doing it. We feel we ought to do it. That is useless. So the first thing I hear with you, and the first thing that strikes me is, you are totally different from all your competitors in many ways, because they all have labels on your clean skin. So the first thing I'd be doing from a content perspective, I'd go for a point of difference. Point of difference, you are not like the others, right? You have a very clear point of difference. So what is your story? You have got to build a very loyal audience. An audience that loves your story way better than the likes of the Qantas or the BWSs or the Sailmasters or whatever it is. Why do they like you? Because you're different. Okay? You're selling great wine at a fraction of the price that they are. They want to love you. You have got to make them love you. And the way that you do that is you tell stories which basically give them all they need in the wine world, but has your personality stamped all over it. And if you do that and you do it regularly, without necessarily, and you're going to have to understand I'm always going to come from this perspective. My broadcasting career at BBC and ABC means that I am not going to do the shouty stuff. Anyone that does the shouty stuff on social media of mine just makes me run a mile. So the first thing I'll be doing here is I'll be doing the subtle stuff. I'll be looking at building that audience through high quality content, great written articles, sometimes about wine, sometimes not about wine. Doesn't matter. We have wine with all sorts of things. So let's talk about social. You can put all sorts of things into the mix, but basically by creating great content that makes your audience go, these guys are totally cool, they get it. They're going to feel like they're far more inclined to buy from you when they're ready to buy those cases of wine that I see scattered around here. But you've got to build the audience first, and you've got to build it long term, not just for tomorrow, but forevermore. Okay?
Beautiful.
That's it.
Thank you.
I just want to pre-frame tonight that every business is going to hear a lot of different ideas from different platforms. Please just choose one you want to do and do it, because otherwise you just won't do it. Same with everyone else, otherwise you won't do it. Choose one thing and do it well. I always find whenever I do any sort of strategy, I look at who's done it well, the best in the world. I go and model what they've done and replicate it for myself. So a name you need to write down is Gary Vaynerchuk, and look up Wine Library TV. You've probably done that already.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
You have, and I looked on your Facebook page, you have one video that's great, but I think it's from like 2014, and just do that. Like when you were up there before, if you'd filmed that and put that on Facebook, that would go out. Like everyone here, I would have shared that with my friends, because you were so informative, you were telling your story, and that was great. And you can promote that via video on Facebook, which then allows you to go out and you can get views for under 1 cent if you want to do paid advertising, because it's something that's relevant to people. You're going to completely segregate yourself from Qantas and everything else, because they're selling people, and everyone should write this down, don't sell people on the journey, sell them on the destination. Because I don't care that I'm going to fly on a Boeing 787 to Hawaii. I care that I'm going to be on a beach with hula girls wearing bikinis and grass skirts. Like, sell me on that outcome. So that's the same when you're selling the wine. Like, in the video I had about cheese, the cheese it would go well with and things like that. I was like, I'm going to go buy some of that cheese tonight. Like, and I'm going to buy that wine, because that sounded good to me. As well with Facebook as well, if we wanted to do something different, if you just want to promote the actual wines, I'd probably go down the lines of a multi-product ad where you can show a showcase of different things. And what might be cool is you go, the wine, the cheese it goes with, and I think the thing on there said lasagna. So I'll be like, boom, 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 this is that's your take home. Like, take that home for dinner tonight, your wife will be well impressed. So that's what I would do when it comes to Facebook. But video is big, and it's cheaper than anywhere else. So, yeah.
I think from a strategy point of view, it's really important for us to truly understand who our customer actually is. Now, when I say to you, who is your customer, you might be inclined to answer that question as they're a male professional aged 35 to 45 and blur. Okay, well that's great, it's a good start, but it actually doesn't tell me anything about the people who are buying from you. Now, you mentioned, Steve, that one of your customers may be business owners. Because how fantastic would it be if we're running a corporate event? Like, we've had some hands up here of people that want to run events. I mean, your customers are in the room right now. So we, well, some of us, I will admit to this, can be quite egotistical. We are quite proud of our business. Like, damn, it's nearly killed us to build the thing. We're proud of it. And there is nothing more awesome than the thought of my business logo being on the front of a bottle of wine, which is what you mentioned earlier on. So, yeah, awesome. So when you're promoting to me, whether it's on Facebook, which is where I hang out a lot, whether it's on Twitter, where I also hang out, I want to see my own logo on the side of a bottle of wine, because my ego is going to buy that. Because I'm going to want to send that to my customers at Christmas time as a present instead of a crappy card. I'm going to want to have an event that has all of my logos down the side of the room. So, yeah, really get to know your customer so that you can know then how to promote on Facebook. You could even send out, images on Facebook to their walls or in a private message.
Tweet. Buyer personas. Everything starts with buyer personas, not demographics. Buyer personas. What problems do you solve? You know, people go online for two reasons, don't they? Solve a problem or for entertainment. No other reason. And they go online for both with you. Solve a problem. They want cheap wine. They want good wine. They want to know what to drink, because most people don't really know what to drink. I would create lots and lots and lots of content. Lots of it. And I would push it out on Twitter. Twitter's the only platform you can physically grow yourself beyond the limitations of all the others. So within 12 months, you could literally grow. Well, I grew my Twitter account to 100,000 in 12 months with no cost, no advertising, no nothing. So you can, your target market isn't obviously as broad as mine, but there's 2.8 million Twitter users in Australia. So there's a good proportion in Perth. And if you was to automate because you can automate your tweets. And if you was to do that, you could push out, I push about 8,000 a day, a month out, 8,000 tweets, which results in 8 million impressions and 15,000 website visitors. So you could drive your online business through Twitter just by taking the content and pushing it, automating it.
We'll talk about automation a little bit later as a separate topic, because there's a lot of ways we can go through that.
Cool. My name's Doyle, and I'm going to talk about LinkedIn. From an outset, it is about personas, right? So it's understanding who that customer is, and if you've used LinkedIn, which I'm assuming you have, it's more towards the business side of things. But this is actually a good place where you could do sort of and engage like a sales team to do basically hand-to-hand type engagement with people who you're looking for, right? So who is your perfect customer? What is that persona? What businesses are they that you could actually bring them on board? And as Sarah said, like have it as, you know, an event, or have it as a gift, right? All those types of things. That's really what you're looking for, is to be able to connect with that user. And I think that would be a tremendous opportunity. I don't know if you're using it for a sort of from a sales perspective as opposed to a social perspective, because there is a little bit of a difference. Talk closer to the mic. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Shall I start from scratch? It was that boring, was it? No, what I was saying was that, look, there is a difference between social selling and selling on social media, right? So take what LinkedIn is. It's for businesses, it's for that engagement, and it's for direct. So contact those people directly. Make a list of those companies that you want to reach out to for corporate events, for branding, you know, whatever the case may be. And in my mind, that would allow you that extra edge that a lot of people use social media as a passive medium, right? They don't actually go in, they don't actually engage, they just push stuff out. And in my mind, pushing content out is kind of, it's helpful, right? But it's only a portion of the story. So yes, it's to talk about your story, but it's also to listen in and see what other people are telling you with their stories. So I would try to use it as a sales tool, you know, assign specific sales goals and sales activities to contact those people and introduce them, start to tell your story through that.
Do you,
You're on.
do you bottle and package everything yourselves?
We, in this warehouse, probably about 50% of the wines we send to a bottling plant. So we buy it from a vineyard as a bulk product, and we pick it up in a tanker, get it bottled, and the other 50% comes packaged from the vineyard already.
Okay. One way that's been really useful for helping me to build a community, and indeed other people, is a principle called process, not product. And to engage people with your story and with what it is that you're developing, whether it's a service, whether it's a product, people actually like to know the process by which it was created. If you're an expert in a particular topic and you have a particular service that you provide, share your continuous learning about that topic with your audience. Every time you learn something new, share that with your audience. If you're making something, perhaps you're writing a book, maybe you are making a physical product, one of the most fantastic things you can do is actually show people how it was made. Show people the in-draft version of it. Now, I help people write courses for a living, so I sometimes post photographs of my wall covered in post-it notes and brainstorming and piles of paper all over the floor. And that's what people love. Actually, they don't care as much about the course at the end. They love to see how it was done. So with you, perhaps what you could do, and everyone else that has a product, can you either film, take photographs, or do status updates about the journey of your product or service is taking on its way to being produced? Because people love that. I'd love to see a picture of your big bearded truckie loading everything to the back of a truck and pouring it all through into a wine bottle. That is exciting, that's interesting. That makes me want to taste the wine even more.
It's a really good point, actually. The behind-the-scenes stuff is often really of interest because we don't often go behind the scenes. We often see just the end product. And I have to say, because you're in wine, I mean, who doesn't like wine stuff? Everyone is fascinated by your story. It's just a case of how you want to tell it. And we've talked already about those different audiences. They're all going to be different. So you might need to tell different stories for different audiences. And the corporate world, I would imagine, is very different from, say, the family world. But yeah, there are so many ways you need to look at it. But the bottom line is, wine is a great starting point to make great content for.
Fantastic, guys. I really need to cut in here. Really want a cat fight here. I want to know why you guys, in your individualities of your social marketing, social media, is why you're better than the other. I want to know that. Ooh. It's great that they say you can help this and this.
I'm
and
getting
this
out
and
before
But right now, I want a debate. It's a debate. All right, we've been collaborating, which is fantastic.
There's no such thing as one is better than the other. It's all depending on the audience you're trying to reach with the objective that you've set.
But I want to know why you're better.
Well, that's not the point.
Well, it's because you're
He's in content, so that's on every single platform, so you can't debate.
I want to know why
Facebook is the
better than
best.
Twitter.
That's why.
Why?
Why is because every single, there's more people on Facebook than everywhere else. Look on your phones, every single one of you will have the Facebook app over any other social media app on there. Number one, I can use LinkedIn and take them and extract them, and I can market to them on Facebook. I can do the same on Twitter. Yeah, that's why I use Facebook, and that's why it's the best.
Next. Come on. Sell yourself.
Because Twitter's the best because I do everything organically. I don't have to pay for advertising. I can organically grow it by, mine grows 10,000 a month. Imagine growing your followers by 10,000 a month. Free of charge. And then having approximately 10% of those people come to your website within that month.
All right,
That's
you can talk to
Twitter.
me later.
What would you rather have? 100% of nothing or 1% of something? If you want 1% of something, you can actually sell on LinkedIn, right? And you can sell big on LinkedIn, right? We're talking warehouse size sales, crate size sales of specific customers who are looking for that product. So if you want to sell big, go to LinkedIn.
Fantastic. You may go back to your conversations now.
Just to give you some scenarios there, from a point of view of a business person who's using all of the platforms, some ways that all of those platforms have won for me. Now, I love Facebook. I'm a big Facebook fan. I actually get a significant portion of business from Facebook, doing business to business, as well as business to customer. Now, I was actually having a conversation just during the networking session there with somebody, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this. Is that okay? Who said, well, you know, we actually deal with investment properties, so Facebook's not really good for us. And I said, well, oh no, hang on, sorry, I disagree. Sorry, I completely just said the wrong story. Someone who said it was about lawyers. Lawyers can't use it. Some businesses can't use Facebook, such as law firms, for instance. And I said, well, who uses lawyers? Everyone. Yeah, people on Facebook. So I get a lot of business through Facebook, and I recently filled an event that earned me $15,000 using Facebook alone, without advertising, because Facebook allows you to build relationships. Facebook enables you to make friends with people that you haven't even met yet. I've actually got some of my bestest friends that I've met through Facebook. It's incredible. And it's when people can follow your story and be part of your story. So Facebook for me is fantastic for that. LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn for a very long time. And actually 6 years ago, I won a contract with a national bank delivering training through LinkedIn. So as Doyle said, you can get very big deals using that particular platform because you can go direct to the decision maker. You don't have to phone the business. You don't have to go through the gatekeeper. You find who you want to call and you find the CEO and you can pick up the phone and ring that person. Twitter, again, like I said, I ran an event not long ago. We had nearly 2 million people watch the event. So it's great for exposure and large numbers of people into your funnel. Does anyone, Steve, did you have any other questions about how you could potentially use social media?
Well, social media for me in my age group is very difficult. But I tell you what, everything you've said just now, we've just done a marketing review. So we've just gone through a marketing review, and everything these guys that have said tonight has come up in that marketing review. And our ability to sell to the public and create the perception of clean skin wine in our name, not being of inferior quality, has been the hardest hurdle to get over. And that's why we've started creating these new brands like Osborne you've seen tonight. All the wine labels that you see that are very basic are now disappearing because we need to value add to our product. And we are on that road. With 3,200 Facebook fans, we do need to create, like you said, more content, and more content the better. And what I've learnt just now is, when we're getting a wine bottled, I'll be ringing the bottling plant and saying, as that wine's going down the conveyor belt, I want you to get your phone out, take a video of it and email it to me so I can add that. I thought that content would be insignificant to a customer, but obviously people want to know about that process as it's going along the line, and it's getting pumped from a tanker into a tank. So I'm going to take those things on board. And Ryan, we've got a digital manager here full time now, and he's on top of all this sort of stuff. And I appreciate all the advice that's been given to us tonight, so thank you.
And questions for the audience? Yes? We have a mic.